Hello everyone, I'm the EFC and this is Blue Lines TV, and today I'm bringing you guys another News Daily exclusive. Yes, I'm going to be talking about Thomas Tuchel and I'm going to be talking about Antonio Conte in today's video. But you guys, before I get straight into things, please smash that like button. Help me get more than 500 likes to this video. Thank you to everyone that hits that like button whenever I tell you guys to do that. And don't forget as well, hit the bell notification button to stay tuned to all things Blue Lines TV. You guys, the next few months are going to be pretty hectic. The summer transfer window will be coming back. You guys can't afford to miss out on anything that will be coming out on this channel. We're getting straight into the major story for today, and that's in regards to Thomas Tuchel. Funnily enough, it came out yesterday that Tuchel himself has stated that he won't be signing for Bayern Munich to replace Heinkes because he will be signing for a club playing abroad. Instead, it looks like Bayern Munich will be turning their attentions to Lucien Favre from Nice. His reputation has been getting better. He's been doing a lot of great work at the clubs that he's been managing recently, and he's doing good stuff at Nice, even though Nice aren't as strong a squad as they were last year. Now, this report came from Kicker, but I've also been given exclusive news as well in regards to Thomas Tuchel. Now, there are three major clubs in the running for Tuchel, and Kicker are right with this. That's Arsenal, Real Madrid, and Chelsea. Now, reports last night and today have come out stating that Tuchel is the favourite for the Arsenal job, but there isn't much to the story. Now, I'm not stating that Kicker are making this up, of course not. People have to understand in this industry, things happen and change every single time. Sometimes if you're told something that was in reference to something that happened a month ago, it's going to be different the following month. It's just what happens all the time. At the end of the day, it's humans making decisions on their future, so it's natural that things will chop and change any moment. But one of the main reasons why Arsenal are linked with Tuchel is that it came from Lothar Matthäus, obviously the ex-Bayern Munich player, that he knew that Tuchel was speaking to Arsenal. Now, when you read the story, there isn't much context in regards to that in terms of how recent these conversations were when it happened. For all Matthäus knows, maybe this happened a month or two ago. And it's natural that maybe there has been communication with the clubs, but it looks like Arsenal won't be in the running for Tuchel. And then there's a few mitigating circumstances in regards to why it's not very likely that Tuchel will be signing for Arsenal. And one of the first major reasons is in regard to Arsenal's new director of football, Mislintat. Now, Mislintat was the previous director of football at Dortmund, where he and Tuchel had a massive falling out. Their relationship became so bad and severe that Mislintat was in fact banned from joining the training sessions at the training grounds. And Mislintat himself stated that the reason why this row became a thing in the first place was in regards to the proposed transfer of Oliver Torres. If you guys don't know Oliver Torres, he was a Spanish guy who is owned by Atletico Madrid. I think he's on loan at Porto. Mislintat didn't really go into detail in regards to explaining the situation, but ultimately this decided his future at the club. Mislintat also quotes, "But the training grounds ban initiated by the club's former coach, as well as the instructions to keep away from the inner circle, from players, from the staff, from many friends with who I worked so closely throughout the years, all of that influenced my thinking." So it's extremely unlikely that Tuchel will join Arsenal, especially when his relationship with Mislintat just isn't very good. Now, Kicker did state, without really going into detail or explaining further context, that Mislintat would be okay with Tuchel joining Arsenal because they're stating that Mislintat's loyalties will always lie with his employers. But with how bad their relationship breakdown was at Dortmund, it seems very unlikely that Tuchel would probably want to join them. Now, it does make sense from Arsenal's part, of course. If you look at some of the players they brought in Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan, two guys that excelled under Tuchel, it makes a lot of sense in that regards. But it seems very unlikely that Tuchel will be joining Arsenal. But if anything, this is one of the first major stories about a coach being linked to the Arsenal job, so I'm expecting more managers to be linked with the Arsenal post during the following months. But anyway, you guys, that leaves two clubs in the running, Real Madrid and Chelsea. But I can tell you guys that Tuchel and Chelsea have been speaking and negotiating a lot. And it seems very, very, very likely that he will be our new manager for next season. Now, this does make a lot of sense, and I think the main reason as to why this is going to be the realistic outcome is the fact that it doesn't cost any money. We'll be signing on a free, and I think that's always going to be in Chelsea's favour. Now, before I get into further details, I want to address one point, I did release a video a few days ago talking about Luis Campos, Jardim and Luis Enrique. Now in regards to Luis Campos, everything is still 100% correct. And you guys, if I was a betting man myself, it seems very likely that Luis Campos will be becoming our new director of football for next season. But when it comes to Luis Enrique and Jardim, that was still 100% correct in terms of when I got the information. Now the thing is, I don't know how long ago these talks were, but it's normal that clubs will be speaking to managers. Of course, it's well known that we were talking to Luis Enrique. Looks like nothing's going to be happening with that interest, of course, but it's natural that you're going to be scouting the market, speaking to numerous managers to really assess who your options are. Jardim is another guy definitely in the running because Tuchel hasn't 100% confirmed that he will be signing for us next year, but it's very, very likely that he will. And just to provide further context of the realities of how this stuff works, remember the time when Antonio Conte was signed? Now, Sampaoli was in the running with him. Of course, the club had spoken to both extensively. They both offered contracts. In the end, Chelsea decided to go with Conte, even though they were speaking to Sampaoli equally as much as Antonio Conte. So it's going to be normal and typical that Chelsea will do the same thing because that's what we do when we look for new managers. But getting straight back into Tuchel news, and I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, it's going to come as such a cop-out, but this time, I can't really disclose too much information. Of course, in the future, when things are a bit safer, I will be disclosing some of this stuff I've been told. I'm sorry, you guys. You can take my word for it, or you don't have to. It's really not my problem. I'm just going to tell you my honest opinions and obviously the realities of what's happening. I'm just going to state to you the honest facts I've been told. I've got no reason to lie. Anyway, it's up to people whether you believe me or not. But what I can say is that Tuchel is at the forefront. He is our leading candidate for the future manager at Chelsea. He's the leading candidate to replace Antonio Conte for next season. It's still early days to discuss formalities because Antonio Conte is still the current manager. But in regards to Tuchel, things are as far along as they can be. Now, I'm very excited for this news because one thing it's telling me, and I think a lot of Chelsea fans have been getting this sense as well, is that things will be very different next season, and it looks like we'll have a completely new direction in terms of how this club want to structure and what type of football they want to play. I can tell you that Chelsea are hoping to introduce a new style to the club. They want to play more attacking offensive football, so that's definitely something to be excited about as fans. And all I can say is that Tuchel has impressed a lot of the people at the club. But the thing with Tuchel is the fact that with Real Madrid interests, he would like to hear what they're proposing first. This is why nothing's 100% guaranteed or confirmed just yet. But as I said, everything's as far along as it can be. But you guys, in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts and opinions on what you think about Tuchel. Are you happy with this potential appointment for next season? If you're not happy, tell me who you'd prefer, or if you want Conte to remain as the current manager, state your reasons in the comment section why. When I'm told I can, I will be disclosing more information in regards to Thomas Tuchel and Chelsea, so you guys make sure you stay tuned in the next following days or weeks. Moving on to the next story, and that's in regards to Antonio Conte and links with Paris Saint-Germain. As I've already told you guys, I think before the start of the new year around that time, I told you guys that Conte wants the Paris Saint-Germain job. Now at the time, a lot of people didn't accept what I said. A lot of people thought I was talking nonsense, etc. But again, we've seen reports intensify. The rest of the media are reporting on the story and disclosing information as well. Le Parisien also let people know that Conte's representative Federico Pastorello had been speaking to Paris Saint-Germain the day before our game against Barcelona. And Conte and Paris Saint-Germain have been speaking long before the start of the new year. Now, of course, a lot of these talks are just preliminary talks, informal talks, but things are intensifying more. Conte definitely wants to leave and he wants the job at Paris Saint-Germain. And it makes sense why Conte will have his representative speaking to Paris Saint-Germain now. That's because there are other managers in the running. So it makes sense to try and secure a deal with Paris Saint-Germain first before they divert their attentions to other targets, or if any other potential targets become available in the summer. And for example, a potential manager that could be available in the summer is Pochettino. A lot of clubs are still looking at him in case that does become a reality. So it's in Conte's best interest to try and push through negotiations and try and get something sorted out pretty quickly. Now, some details of this conversation between the representative and Paris Saint-Germain have come out from The Guardian. They're saying that everything is still a formal negotiation, but Paris Saint-Germain are willing to increase Antonio Conte's wage. Not by a ton, it's literally by $500,000 because Conte's earning about 9.5 million. Paris Saint-Germain would give him 10 million. It seems very likely that Conte will be the new Paris Saint-Germain manager for next year. The Guardian reported that Paris Saint-Germain have been looking at Simeone and Allegri as well. Paris Saint-Germain had been speaking to Jose Mourinho as well. That was when Conte's interest became even stronger. One of the main reasons why Conte does want the Paris Saint-Germain job, I think everyone knows it, is it even really news? Obviously they got more money and he'd have more say in regards to bringing in targets. But anyway you guys, that's going to end today's video. In the next few days or following weeks, I do have some news on Leon Bailey, so expect me to release that pretty soon. I'm just waiting to hear more information on what's happening behind the scenes. But all I can say is, expect Leon Bailey to be leaving Bayer Leverkusen in the summer. Anyway you guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like I said, smash that like button, help me get more than 500 likes for this video. I'm NiniFC, this is Blue Lines TV, signing out.